Hey, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Str8Up Show podcast. I am your host, joined by my co-host, Christina. How you doing today?
I'm good.
All right, Christina, thank you so much for being on the show. And I missed you. I'm not gonna lie, I missed you. It's been a while.
Hmm.
And if y'all listen to the show, you know that me and Christina are, we're kind of like we're like nemesis, but we go back and forth. But it's definitely all love in this department. I got much love for Christina, even though I did say she's no longer welcome on the show, but here we are.
Okay, I'm gonna keep coming back just to make you mad, so it doesn't matter.
All right. And only how fitting, Christina, is that it's just me and you on this episode. And we're going to talk about, I mean, if y'all listen to our previous season, you heard about my life as a single millennial right now. And it's kind of weird being single during this time, right?
I'm almost perpetually single, so it's just the norm for me to be by myself.
Yeah. And like, and I'm starting to find out that it's okay. Maybe love doesn't happen right away. And that's kind of what we're going to do about have our show about today is that, love, it has no time on it at this point, especially, live your life. So we're going to actually have our guest today, some people that I researched and looked up, and very funny couple. We see them, they're so much in love. So on today's episode, help me welcome Miss Kitty and PJ, host of the UnDivorceable show. How you guys doing today?
We're doing amazing. Woo woo! I like that intro.
And so PJ and Kitty, they're a beautiful couple. I've talked to them outside of the show, and you can just see their love, even if you don't know them. You see their love. So we're gonna talk with them today. And like I said, if y'all heard our show before, I think I gave you the episode, Kitty, about me being single. Okay, I mean, and she heard the crazy things that I go through with dating. I mean, so we're gonna talk about that. So if you watch their show UnDivorceable on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, you can just see how much in love they are, and that's kind of one of the things that I want to talk about today because they are in love. But the thing with PJ and Kitty is that they were high school lovers, fell apart, and now they're together. So that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about their love and but let's just go ahead and get started with it. PJ and Kitty, can you just tell us, a little bit about y'all, where you're from? And
Well, this PJ, I'm from Dallas, born and raised, Oak Cliff. If you know about anything about Dallas, Oak Cliff is where all the hood and all the black folks be. So that's where I'm from.
Yes, and this is Kitty. I was born in Terrell, Texas, home of Jamie Foxx, and was there until middle school. Then my parents transitioned and we moved up in the Dallas metro area into Garland. So it's pretty much went from the country girl to the suburban girl within a blink.
And Terrell, Texas is no longer country though. I mean, I mean, if you go from Dallas to Shreveport, you know that Terrell, Texas is like you have to go through that. And I'm like, man, Terrell is like a city now. It's not even country anymore.
Well, like a lot of towns that are trying to build up, they're building up along the outskirts of town, where the freeway is to try and bring in more commerce, but not really doing very much to the inner part of the town. So it's still very much very country.
Yeah, but we got some Texas people with us today. So I mean, to me,
Yeah.
it's like this is my new hometown, and I'm actually talking to people in my hometown right now. So I mean, I got Christina back in Louisiana, and y'all here. So I mean, we're gonna have a good episode. But just tell us, I mean, how did you two meet?
Well, actually, I thought I was a Mac back in the day. Ninth grade.
It was
eighth grade year, going into ninth grade year. I go to a club. There's a club called Club Kuntash.
That was in our suburban
It was in Garland.
town.
It was in Garland. So we go. So a couple of my homeboys, and then so we get to the club. So first thing how it was. See how many numbers you gonna get tonight. You know what I mean? There's competition between the boys. So I see her dancing. I'm like, damn, little mama got something. So I shoot at her. I get, I should say, come here. Hey, you gonna be with me tonight. That was my line. Just like that. And she was with me the rest of the night. And that's what it was. And we dated. Right? But like I said, I grew up, had a little, we didn't have a lot of money. I had a lot of struggles and stuff like that. So our phone would get cut off. So, back then it was just a landline. Wasn't no cell phones, nothing like that. So once our phone get cut off, that cut off the communication. You know what I mean? So we couldn't really communicate like that.
Right, because we had, so the girl version is
That's what I want to hear.
The girl version. The girl version is, I was in the 8th grade. I was the baby of a group of girls that was older than me, and we had a dance group. So there was a club that we would go and we would dance for. So we would kind of be getting the party started. So we were like the Southside Posse girls. So we went in and we would hip hop dance, and then other people would start dancing, get the club going. So one of my older friends was dating one of his friends. Older friends. Mm-hmm. So they decided to come to the club that night. So unbeknownst to us, he brought a bunch of his friends or whatever. So we were all dancing on the dance floor. Then this guy walks up to me and he goes, "Hey, you're going to be with me for tonight." You said, "You're going to be with me." I said, okay. Now, I'm the youngest, but I'm the toughest of my group. And I ain't never had no boy talk to me like that. So I was like, okay, what do you say to that? But we were together and we danced and we were together. So all of his friends and all of my friends, there was the same number of guys as girls. So everybody kind of yoked up. So over a year, we would go see them, and because they drove, they were older. We were just in the 8th grade, so we would be tagging along. So we were able to be together a lot during that time going into 9th grade. But like you said, the older friends started breaking up, so we didn't drive. Then his phone got disconnected, so we lost contact for a while. Then sophomore year, my school in the suburbs scheduled to play his school in the hood. So I waited a whole time during basketball season. Mm-hmm. And me and my friends prayed all the way on the bus that he would be there. We just prayed. And then the bus pulled up, and there he was standing there with a group of his little friends. So then we got to hang out again for a day.
I got a kiss that day too.
You sure did.
I put up just the locker.
He did. We were going to the concession stand, and he grabbed me and pushed me up against the vending machine and stuck his tongue down my throat. I was like, oh.
I'm advancing. I was advancing then, I was feeling
you
myself.
Swooned.
I know it. I'm like, oh, the suburban girl has this hood boy.
That can get you locked up.
We lost contact again.
Yes, we lost contact again. So
I didn't see her no more till when?
Senior year.
Senior year. Now you know what I got it going on now. And I'm a senior. Oh yeah. I know all the lines now.
So I had broke up with my hometown boyfriend. So I told my best friend.
So she say,
whatever. So I told my best friend, I'm going to go get Philip. So we drive after our volleyball game. We drive all the way to Dallas.
Because she knew where I stayed from the previous years, right? She knew exactly where I stayed.
So we went to the football game because I knew he played football. So we watched the game. He was amazing. I was so excited. I was screaming. I was yelling. Then after the game, we waited, for people to kind of die down and the football players to come to the railing and all that. So we're walking down, and I'm so excited. I'm gonna talk to him. I can't believe it. Blah, blah, blah. So as we're going down the bleachers, there's a group of girls down at the bottom, and they're screaming for him. And so we slowed down, and I was like, oh, I never really thought he might have a girlfriend. Oh my God. So then reality kicked in, girl, what the world are you doing? You can't be interrupting his life like this, popping in. So me and my girlfriend just left. That was the longest drive home. I was so sad.
And I never knew she was at the game. He
never knew I was at the game. So anyway, fast forward at the end of senior year, me and the same guy tried to work it out, didn't work it out. And I was like, forget this. I got up one morning and I told my best friend, I'm going to go see Philip. She was like, you want me to roll? I was like, no, I'm going by myself.
Now, mind you, I was always in the streets. I never stayed at the house. I'm always gone. Never was at the house, but for whatever reason, that night, because it was dark, she pulled up on me. I'm at the house. I'm on the porch. Me and my partner and his girlfriend, we just chopping it up. I see this car unfamiliar to me. I'm like, man, who is that? He be like, man, I don't know who that is. We trying to figure out who it was.
I'm in the car. In the car. I see him, another guy that I knew. I knew who the other guy was, but then there was a girl up there. And so I was in the car and I paused for a minute. I said, you know what? If that's his girl, she gonna have to get out of her feelings today because I'm coming.
Yeah, she got out that car. I'm looking. I'm still trying to see who it is. I hadn't seen her. It's been a few years.
Yeah, I got you.
So it's like, I'm like, damn, that look like Trina. Then as she got a little closer, I said, damn, that is Trina. We hooked up that night. Now, mind you, this is our senior year. Hooked up that night. I don't know what happened again.
Yeah.
Lost contact again.
Again.
Now I'm getting ready to go to college and play football.
Yeah, and I was getting ready to go to Oklahoma University as well.
Now remember, this time ain't no text messages and none of this.
Yeah, no cell.
So we go to college. I just happened to go to college in Oklahoma, and she just happened to go to OU. Our colleges is probably about an hour drive apart from each other.
Right. But we didn't know.
Now we didn't know this because we lost contact. Now they had a stomp down,
which is
at
a
OU.
big Greek show.
Greek show. I mean, thousands of people in the arena. So we go out of all these people. I'm getting my Mac on. It reminds me of the 8th grade year. I see out of all these people, guess who I see dance?
Me.
Katrina, shaking it. But this time she danced with a dude.
Okay, so here it goes. So at OU, every year they have a Greek show. It's huge. It's called Stomp Down. And they have it in the basketball arena. So there's a stage. They break the stage down. Then it turns into this huge party. It's easy 10,000 people everywhere in the facility. I mean, it's bumping. It's amazing. I had went to Dallas earlier in the week. And then my hair used to be very long. And I had cut it in a sling bob because I thought I was grown. So I had different hair and all that. So I'm dancing with this guy. All of a sudden, I hear somebody screaming my whole name. And you know how you dancing and you just be like, self, did somebody just call me? But I kept dancing because I'm a dancer. I'm not a drinker, but I'll stay on the dance floor all day. So it got closer and screaming my name some more. So I'm still dancing with the guy and I'm like, I know somebody is calling my name. Then it got closer. And it yelled again. I said, I know full well that is not. So then I slowly turned around and it was him. And I was like, oh my God, like, what are you doing here? He was not, y'all, let me tell you, he was not looking at me at all. He was staring at that guy. And I started like panicking, like this is my boyfriend. Like I done got busted doing something. I'm like, no.
Yeah, she got busted. I pulled up on it. She got busted.
I was just dancing with him. Like, I don't even know him. Like, and he was just had this angry face I had never seen before. And he was just staring past me at this guy. And the guy was like, man, we was just dancing. He was like staring at him. And I'm like, we really was just dancing. Like, I don't even know him. And he just stared at dude. And he was like, you still standing here? And I was like, just go. Just go.
Wow.
Hey.
And just like that, we were back together again.
Definitely a great love story. I mean, that is honestly, and me just being me, a movie fanatic. I'm like, sounds like Grease mixed with ATL mixed with Stomp the Yard.
Man, I'm here to tell you. But we were back together for about a few weeks after that, and then because my friends got with his friends, and we still didn't drive, and then the people who drove broke up. So then,
and then the colleges,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Our colleges was an hour or so away, and then back then you had to write letters. So yeah,
I wrote him some letters. He didn't respond.
You know, you couldn't talk on the phone because we were gonna run somebody's phone bill up. That's what it was. Yeah. So we
lost contact again.
We hooked up for a little while. They came down to our school. And we had a great weekend.
They had a football house.
We had a football house.
They gave us a strip show and everything. It was awesome.
She brought her home girls. Me and her hooked up that weekend. And then I think we rode a couple times and then it fell off. Yeah. And then I ain't heard from her to about almost 20 years later.
Wow. Yeah. And we're going to talk about that. And we're going to talk about how you all reconnected. I mean, we're going to have more with PJ and Kitty, host of the UnDivorceable, coming up next.
Hey everybody, Lee here. And guess what? The reviews are in and the Str8Up Show podcast is a hit. Don't believe me? Well, listen to what one of our guest panelists, Dr. Monique Thompson, has to say.
listening to Straight Up and support this podcast, because I listened in before I came on the show. I liked what I heard. They're really focusing on keeping things real and being real with you, and I like that approach. So you guys support this podcast.
So if you want to listen, donate to the show, have a subject idea, or even want to be a guest, just contact us at straightupshow@gmail.com. That's straightupshow@gmail.com.
Okay, so if you all have not been listening, we have a wonderful love story. Like I said, to me, it kind of sounds like Grease mixed up with ATL, mixed up with Stomp the Yard. It's just a good love story, and we're joined once again with PJ and Kitty, host of the UnDivorceable. So like if you've been listening, they went to high school, middle school for Kitty, but high school, sophomore, they lost in touch, got back together, lost in touch, got back together. College, got lost in touch, got back together. So here we are, 2018, right? 2018. Yeah, 20, almost 20 years later, here we are. So just tell us, how'd y'all get back together after 20 years? I mean, like, what happened?
Okay, well, during that 20-year span of not seeing each other, she was always in the forefront of my mind, and I was wondering what she was doing, how she was faring in life. I thought about her, wanted to see her. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to see her, lay eyes on her. And of course, back then, before all this Facebook and all this technology, you really you couldn't find people like that. So, I was like, man, I ain't trying to interrupt her life and nothing like that. I just wanted to see how she's doing. So one day, I got on Facebook in 2009. I got on Facebook and didn't have no profile picture or nothing. I just had my name up there or whatever. And I got an inbox, and it was from her. And she was like, "Is this Philip Jones?" Because she couldn't see my face, because she didn't know because there's several Philip Jones. So I was like, "Yeah, this is the one," and that's how we reconnected.
Yes.
But we talked on the phone.
Right.
But she was trying to. She wanted me to put a picture up there. I never would, because she wanted to make sure that I wasn't, fat and ugly.
I plays no games.
I don't blame you, honey.
So she talking about I had to see what you was working with first before I was like, hold on. She said, what you look like? I said, I'm straight. That's all I would say, right? I'm straight.
And I hadn't been too long joining Facebook as well. I was more so on Twitter because my children were doing football recruiting, and football was really big on Twitter versus Facebook. But I got on Facebook because, there still were some college coaches and things like that on there. I didn't really have much of a profile on. I had one picture. So he knew I was still holding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, we're talking
kept in suspense.
Yeah, we're talking on the phone, and it's, we're just catching up on each other's lives, because between that time, we both had gotten married.
Kids, we got married, all that kind of stuff.
And all that kind of stuff.
Right, we done lived life.
Yeah, we done lived a life, and, he wouldn't show me his picture. So then one phone call one day, he called me and got very specific and suggestive.
Yeah, I did. It was kind of like the first time I met her. Hey, you gonna be with me tonight? But the only difference was, I said, you know what? This is what I said to myself. I said, man, we done caught up. We done talked about all the songs. We done talked about the ice cream. We done talked about first time kids. We done talked about everything. So I said, you know what? It's either fight or flight. That's what I told myself. So
I love it. I love that.
I said it's either fight or flight. So hey, can I say this on the podcast?
Go for it. She said, "Go for it.
Go for it."
Do what the woman of the house says. Do what the woman of the house says.
I hit her with this. I said, "Look here." I said, "Man, he ain't gonna."
At 8:30 in the morning. Now, let me tell you something. I am a certified school teacher, okay? So when my phone rang, I saw it was him. So I told my students, you guys go ahead and talk amongst each other. It's the beginning of the day, school day. He doesn't really call me this early in the morning. So, let me check and make sure ain't nothing wrong, whatever. So I answered the phone, in front of a classroom full of students looking at them while they're talking. And I hear this on the other side of the phone. So I whip around like in a movie to turn my back to my students.
She said, oh. This is what I remember. Oh. But damn, can you get a drink or something first? Damn.
She said that in front of the kids?
No, I had turned my back.
I was like, wow. Like,
no, I had turned my back to the kids because I wasn't expecting any of that. I turned my back to the kids.
Wait,
and I was
you really would.
Oh my God. I was like, get a drink first. I mean, what we talking about? I'm gonna have to call you back.
wow.
No, needless to say, nothing educational happened for the next 2 hours in my classroom. I had to sit down and think.
How do you recover?
How did we get here? Like,
wow.
oh Lord, have mercy.
And that's one of those things about fight or flight, man. You got to shoot your shot, and it's crazy because that a lot of people are scared to do it today. Is like to shoot the shot, but like you all have somewhat of longevity in a relationship, so you kind of understanding each other. And like I said, PJ shot his shot, and here we are. And now you two are, like I said,
he made the basket.
And like so,
Girl, sis, come on.
Like, and if you can't tell right now, like I said, you can just see the connection they had even back in the day, but see how they rekindled 20 years later. I mean, just to see y'all's love, hear your story. I mean, Christina, what do you think about all this?
I love it. I love every piece of it. But I have a question. Because the two of you had the opportunity to reconnect so many times because of, no social media, lack of cell phones, you're like a prime example of distance making the heart grow fonder.
Oh my.
Because you stayed very relevant in each other's minds the whole time. You both had totally separate lives. You didn't miss anything. There were no real regrets. But the fact that you're like, you know what? We're older now. We've done our part. Let's focus on us. Is that what kind of happened?
Absolutely. And I never lost thought of him ever. And I would have to pass just through life, being in the Dallas Metroplex, I would have to pass the freeways for the exits that get to his house. And, although I was, married and I had kids or whatever, and I would have to pass that exit, at every moment of every time I reflected on him and his smile and our laughter together and just pleasant things about us being together, because we never had an argument, a disagreement. We never broke up,
really broke up.
Geography and situations, took us apart. It wasn't anything that came between us. So he was absolutely the fondness of my heart. And my first husband, when we first started dating, like he asked me a question and he was like, we were sitting on the floor in my apartment watching TV. And he was like, is there any guy in your past that if he came back today, like you would get back with him? And I told him, yes. And he was like, well, who is he? So I told him about PJ and I gave him the story and he was like, oh, okay. But it was like a question. But I was very honest with that question. But, life was going. I didn't know where he was. He didn't know where I was. And we went on and I, eventually ended up marrying that gentleman. And, we got divorced, but it wasn't because of PJ, but it was just, we just weren't as compatible. But
right.
Like you said, it was a situation where we just never let go of each other. I was very surprised when we did get back in communication with each other to find out that he had been kind of searching and kind of longing for me too along the years. And that was it was very telling of how much we really do solely care for one another.
Right. And one thing you said, Kitty, is that you said that compatibility. And I think we talked about this before the show. And you all are very compatible. And like just even hearing y'all right now, y'all can finish each other's sentences, and y'all just kind of y'all just tag team this whole thing already. And that y'all did that on a phone call with me the other day. I'm like, wow, that's just they really know each other. So with y'all, just explain how much it is important to be compatible, or actually just give our listeners that same speech you gave me about compatibility. One thing that stood out to me, PJ, was like, I jog every day, and if she doesn't jog, can you just kind of tell us that importance of compatibility in dating or in a relationship?
Man, it's key. It's
critical.
key. And it's compatibility means when I grow, you grow with me. You know what I'm saying? What I'm into, you get into it. You may not get into it to the depths that I'm into it. Like I was using the jogging illustration. You know, I jog. If I jog, and you know I love jogging, this is what I love to do. You know what I'm saying? Come on out there and get your workout on. You may not necessarily jog, just walk. Walk the track and let me run by you and pat you on the booty. You know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that way you out there, we can share that time. We can share that time, and then I can eventually start walking with you, and we can have conversations about our day or what our goals or what we're going to try to accomplish or what we're going to do. That's sticking together. You know, the more things you can do together,
Right.
the more compatibility you have, the better your relationship going to be. Because if I'm doing things and you going to the right, you doing things going to the left, that's pulling each other apart.
Right.
You don't never go with me to my homeboy's house. You don't never go with me to the track. You don't never go with me to the business and help me. You don't never do nothing with me. So what you expect? That allows time for the enemy to come in, for the people outside to come in and get in where you supposed to be fitting in at.
Exactly. And a lot of times, you know, just from the media growing up and becoming more relevant in our lives, you know, a lot of relationships get caught up in a lot of these catchphrases, you know, like opposites attract. You know, it's something that you hear, and we've heard it for a long time. And although opposites may attract, does it really become a long-lasting situation? And we can all get caught up in it, being fascinated by something that's different. But ultimately, you need to be compatible in more ways than not. It was something very telling about that one line in the Tyler Perry movie about your 80-20. Because nothing is going to be 100% in anything, in your friendships, with your same-sex relationships, to, you know, your partner relationships. There's going to be some give and some take, but 80% at least, you need to be able to be compatible with the person that you are trying to love in your forevermore.
Yeah, and actually like them. Actually really like them.
Right.
You know,
Now,
I mean, really enjoy their company. Want to be around them.
and like I said, y'all do a lot together. Can you just tell us some of the things that y'all actually? I mean, y'all have the UnDivorceable show, but tell us about that, and what else do y'all do together?
Well, the UnDivorceable show really is a telling of our lives. Like, we work out together, we cook together, we have these talks together. Like, we in the car and we're like, what do you think about this? Or we're listening to radio and something happens, or our friend will call us about something. And we actually talk through these things. Like, we have these debates and everything. And we cook together, we clean together, we work out together, we party together, we enjoy socializing with our friends together.
We do everything. We go to church together.
Yes.
We do predominantly everything together. Now, don't get me wrong, I am independent.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? She's independent of me too.
But we're not.
Like I tell her,
we're not.
But you're not. You got your independency, but you ain't independent of me. That's what I tell all the time. You know, so you free to do what you want and free to say what you want, but not to me though. That's what I tell her. I be messing with her.
Absolutely. And then we have a blended family of children, and
between us we got 7 kids.
Right.
4 of them graduated college, I think.
3.
Is it 4?
3.
3 graduated college, 1 in college, 1 in high school, 2 in elementary.
Yes. So we support, we travel a lot. We both love to travel, you know, and we follow the kids, and we're very supportive, and we both believe in family, which is very important when you're talking about who you want to be. Once you identify the things in your own personal life that matter to you, that are on your priority list, right, that's how you begin to evaluate that other person. Because
once you live a little bit, money, don't get me wrong, we need money, stuff like that. People that pick they mate off, well, he got money, he got a bag. That may be all he got is a bag. He ain't got nothing else. Y'all ain't got nothing else in common. He may have a bag, he may not even share the bag. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? The guy could have a bag, but he's selfish. So it's just like, you might well get on with a guy that don't have a bag and will give you everything. Exactly. They treat you like a queen. And then as girls, you know, we're raised up to think, oh, go get you a doctor or a lawyer. You know, you want to look for that kind of man. But if you're the type of woman who desires to have
your man around you. You desire to be able to go on a trip to where it's not disturbed by a cell phone, ringing and they've got to get up in the middle of the night. If you're a woman that desires to have a man in his presence with you, then a doctor and a lawyer theoretically is not going to be what you're looking for, because that's a profession that requires them to be gone a lot from your presence.
Mm-hmm.
So it's those
Can't
kinds
be
of
priority.
things. Absolutely. It's those kinds of things.
That's the things you don't look at when you're younger.
Because you don't know to look at it when you're younger. Because you haven't lived long enough. And a lot of people, exactly. A lot of people aren't coming back and telling you, hey, you need to look for this. You need to be looking for this. And if this is what you like, you need to be looking for this, So those are the kind of things that we try to help people with when it comes to undivorceable.
Mm-hmm. The whole thing is not to get divorced. That's what we're trying to teach.
And
there you go.
And all your connections, even when you're dealing with your friends and your homegirls and your homeboys, that's still a connection that can be divorced. We've all had to do it many, many times. And breaking up with friends can hurt just as deep as breaking up with significant others.
Amen.
Yes, it can.
Y'all spitting some fire today.
Right. And speaking of being younger, I'm going to ask PJ a question real quick, because I'm very curious. Just from the first time the two of you met and you got the gall to walk up to her and say, I'm going to keep you. What was it like to be that young and already feeling like you had that much confidence? What was the reason for that? Because it was like, that's not a young man speak. Where did that come from?
No, I said the eat you part when we grow.
No. She's talking
about. No. I meant
at the club.
At the club. When I said, you going to be with me?
Yes.
You know what it was? I thought I was cute. It's number one. Because I was always stocky. I'm stocky built. I knew I was fine. And I knew I wasn't ugly. So
you were in 8th grade. How are you fine in 8th grade?
I'm fine.
Oh no, he was. Oh my God, he was.
You gotta keep her.
What I'm gonna tell you is though, I grew up fast, so I was in 8th grade, but I hung out with guys that was
they were
10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade. I hung out with older guys. I always hung out with guys way older than me.
So he was managed.
So they was giving me game.
Oh, so influence.
So
absolutely.
So yeah, so I stepped to it like that. Anyone really know? I just felt confident, I always had confidence. So, but and I think that's really been who I am. I mean, who I was in 8th grade was a grown man that she ran across on her Facebook. It's just that I became grown. That's all. My confidence still never wavered. My confidence has been the same. Even right today, I still got confidence. Ain't nothing changed except my age.
As you can hear, my dear.
And I actually go through that.
I hear it.
I go through that myself because I'm a big guy, you know what I mean? But I think, and I hate even saying this right now, but I mean, I do pretty good for myself because, my confidence is there. I'm like, hey, and my friend Trey, we call him Trey Songz because he looks just like Trey Songz, cut up and everything. And like, we'll go to a club or something like that. So like, yeah, how do you always get the girls, man, over me? I'm like, it's a confidence thing. And I know this sounds whack, Kitty, and I know Christina's going to give me some stuff about it, but I see one of my lines is, I see a girl and she's on her phone by herself texting, and I go up to her and I'm like, hey, it's 318. So, I start setting my phone.
I love it.
And she's like, what are you doing? She's like, what are you doing?
Why you typing?
He said, what are you doing? Oh, I thought you wanted my number. I'm sorry. And then back off. But today, that's so corny. That's so corny. That's so whack.
But you know what though? Sometimes the corny stuff be the stuff that work because you make them laugh.
It will. It works a lot.
It ain't that being serious all the time stuff where it's the corny. It's the, hey, guess who on the menu? Me and you tonight.
And she's gonna laugh and be like, "That's so funny." And then you just be like, what I tried. I was trying to,
Yeah.
I was like,
you made me a little nervous. You're so beautiful.
That's really open. That's a little open-ended. It gives her a chance to. She could ignore you, or she could just laugh it off, or you could start a real conversation from that. It's not as intimidating as a man walking up and, can I buy you a drink? Can I do it? Because I don't drink. So that's never a good opening for anybody with me.
Exactly.
You want to dance? I'm not a dancer. I'm not a drinker.
Oh no, my love. You must be able to gotta get on the dance.
Oh, when I'm comfortable, I will dance. But going out, just being the first one on the floor is not me. I also have one of those the RBFs. You know, my face looks mad all the time. So I think
Oh
people are afraid
no,
of
my
me.
dear, you must practice not having that.
It's just my face. But you
Oh
know
my
what? As soon as
Lord.
you speak to me, when you speak to me, I smile. I smile anytime I'm talking, even when I'm mad. So it's just one of those you have to actually get my
Okay,
attention,
sis.
and then you'll see my face changes.
And we're
But
gonna,
Okay, sis.
and we're
Okay,
gonna,
hold
go
on,
ahead.
Calvin.
What you
Hold on,
got?
Calvin, because we're gonna have to address this right quick. We're gonna have to address this right quick because I'm gonna have to help my sister out. If you have identified that you have that face, and I've helped some women practice this. If you've identified as a grown woman that you have that face, it is up to you to practice in the privacy of your home to not have that face, because your face and your outwardness is what you're presenting to the world at every moment you step outside your house. If you as a grown woman have identified you have that face, it is definitely your responsibility to fix it. And it is fixable. You have to be more
yeah,
aware.
absolutely.
You have to be more aware, because if you feel like you may be doing it, immediately correct it, because you could be outwardly projecting something that makes your king not approach you. And that is not who you are as an internal person. So you have to make sure that you're not putting obstacles in your own path to detract from your king possibly coming up to you.
Wow, that's pretty deep. And we're actually going to talk more and get some
Yes,
tips.
ma'am.
Get some tips from them, PJ and Katie. But let's circle back right quick, if we can, before we go to break. One thing I want to just ask you all, like I said, you are compatible, and with right now as we're recording this, we have COVID-19. Do y'all? I mean, right now I know y'all do everything together, but do y'all think that doing things together all the time is like? I mean, what do y'all do separately, or do y'all ever think that PJ, y'all like she's smothering you, or do y'all do anything separately, or what do y'all do separately, or?
Well, I mean, he still, he goes with his boys, and I still go, to my stuff with my girls.
But I'm gonna say this: as I've aged, I got homeboys, but I don't run the streets like I used to. I don't. There's a lot of things that I used to do, I don't do no more. So I mean, we talk on the phone. Me and my homeboy, we must talk on the phone. A lot of us just talk on the phone. We might catch a game, but we don't. If I'm going out to a club or something like that now, if I go, which I rarely go, I'm going with my girl. Remember, we used to go out. We go with the fellas. I stopped doing that years ago. So
That's because I'm hot too.
yeah, she hot, but you know what I'm saying. We gonna go out and dance, me and my girl. So
because we both love dancing.
I'm gonna be the guys I hang with around my age group. They either married or they single, and they doing things that I'm not into no more. So it has narrowed a lot of my choices. You know what I'm saying? Me being with my girl, that's the only choice at this point. If I'm not with my kids.
Yeah, sure. But you know what? And I hear where you're going with it about.
But I see what you're saying. The smothering. I put it like this: I'd rather be smothered by her than to be smothered by you. I'm talking about you, Cal.
Sorry.
I didn't expect that.
Hey, it's hard to make me laugh, man. But if you can crack a joke with me, man, hey, you cool with me. And like I said, and hey, and like me and PJ talked after the show, like we come from the same kind of mindset, man. So that's why me and PJ are.
Like a dude say, man, you handpicked. That's all right. I'm picked by the right hand, though.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey.
Yes. Wow.
So it's how you look at it now. Like I said, as we get older, and y'all, I know we older than y'all, but y'all not young. And a lot of things y'all did when y'all was 20, y'all ain't doing it at 30, 32, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because that's not, you done growed from that.
Hopefully.
Wow. Yeah.
Hopefully,
yeah. And, wow. Y'all, this is an episode you're gonna love. We're gonna have more with PJ and Kitty from the UnDivorceable show. Man, this has been a great episode, so you don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Vaccines are here. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. But don't get sloppy. We still have to practice social distancing, play safe, and be smart. The virus is still here, and only high-risk workers will receive the first batch of vaccines. And you have to take 2 doses to get the full effect, so supply is limited. And remember, we're all in this together, and it shows when we stand hand in hand, making our dreams come true.
I think straight up means to be able to speak in a way that is straight up, to be honest, and to speak your truth.
Raw, uncut, you know what I mean? It's blunt, you know, straight to the point. This what it is.
It's just a place to be open and honest, and that's what I appreciate most about it. And it provides a place for community members to come together and just be straight up with each other about things that are going on in the world, because it affects all of us.
Unfiltered, raw, with all the cursing that Calvin does.
Straight up is just being real, telling it like it is, you know, being you.
Being solid, being who you are, no matter what it is, no matter what situation you're faced with. All right, this is who you are. It really speaks to me, saying it is what it is and it ain't what it ain't. Straight up.
Okay, so we're back. Man, this has been I think probably one of my favorite episodes. We're joined with, of course, I got my sidekick, my co-host, my nemesis, Christina, with me. I'm just kidding. But we're
my sidekick and a nemesis.
You can do that. But we got Christina with us, but we're also joined by Kitty and PJ, host of the UnDivorceable show. Much love to them. They have been giving us some phenomenal tips, great love story, just different advice. But like I said, I mean, PJ and Kitty, I gave y'all our previous podcast about relationships, and you heard some of the things that, you know, I go through as a single person, especially at my age. I mean, like this, I can't get dating down packed. I mean, it's just something that I like I said, I chose a career over relationship. Like you said, that if you're looking for a doctor, you know, that's probably a relationship you don't want to go down. So I mean, like, what's something that people, like I said, are doing wrong, or maybe that I'm doing wrong? I mean, just off what you heard from the podcast, or just what you think that people at my age are doing wrong, especially at my age.
Okay, well, you know, from listening to the previous podcast, you know, for you specifically, I think you really have to sit and identify your self-priority list. What exactly does Calvin like? And then as you begin to meet these young ladies, delve more into them to find out if they meet at least 80% of your priority list. Because if you do that in conversation, now we're talking about in conversation. Now I'm not talking about, you know, the niceties and the representatives that they send you, you know, and I'm not talking about, you know, do a Spanish Inquisition of people, but just in the naturalness of the conversation. You know, if you are a person who loves home cooked meals, and while you are talking to this young lady on the telephone and you're saying, hey, you know, do you like cooking? And she was like, yeah, I like to cook. And he's like, really? Like, how often do you get in the kitchen and burn, girl, you know? And she'd be like, well, you know, not probably maybe once a month or something like that. Cause you know, I work, you know, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Well, that's something that you need to pay attention to depending on how high that is on your priority list. Because really, someone's not going to come into your world and completely change. They're going to bring to you what they bring to you. And you're going to have to eat whatever it is that they put on your plate. So you want to do more investigation. And that's what we see a lot of younger people are not doing these days.
And take your time.
Is not doing enough self-evaluation and not doing enough investigation of the people that you're bringing in and giving titles to. Would you say, Phoebe?
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, like I said, you know, take your time. You know, a lot of the young, they just quick to do. This the quick to do generation. You know, they quick to get married. They quick to jump out of a relationship out of one argument. They quick to, you know, everything is quick. You know, the internet, the microwave, everything is just fast. You know, so you know, just take your time and like you say, evaluate that person you're dealing with. And if you truly serious about somebody, then you at your age, you really have to look at all the pros and cons. You know, would this person be Is this person, do we even get along? Let's just start there.
Right.
Can we go without a stretch, without a whole bunch of arguing or disagreements? I mean, we gonna have disagreements, but can we agree to disagree though? Because some people get mad and you have disagreement and stay mad the rest of the day. Go to bed mad and all this kind of stuff, foolishness over nothing, you know. And if it's simple, you know, if some people petty, you got to weed out a whole lot of stuff. And I think sometimes too we can overthink. We can sometimes as you know, in trying to date, you can be picky. You can get picky. Maybe it could be you. Maybe you too picky. Maybe you unreasonable. Sometimes you got to do a self-evaluation too. Do evaluation on yourself first before you start evaluating everybody else. Yeah. See what your flaws are.
And you know, just things, because at your age, Calvin, you know, you're in your early 30s, you know, you really are looking for some things. You know, do I want kids? Does she want kids? And if you're at a point in your life and you're like, you know what?
I don't want no kids.
I don't want any kids. I'm good with how I live life. I like traveling. I like getting up and going when I want to. You know, I'm not feeling really changed in the diaper stage or whatever. You can't logically go out and get with a woman who does want children.
And expect her to change her mind.
And expect her to change her mind. Because eventually she may be compatible in 45% of those ways, but that child thing, that may be a deal breaker for her.
Deal breaker for you.
Are you? You know, you have to really, really understand yourself. And a lot of people aren't doing that. They're saying, oh, well, they say I should like this. And, well, they say change. I should do this. Or he'll change once I give him that whop. You know, he'll change. You know,
whop. You see that whop ain't
keeping nobody.
And with that being said,
don't do that girl like that.
No, hey, but no, like I mean,
but she forgot there's some other wops out there too. Apparently,
right.
Oh, she did. She thought she had the top shelf one, but
and let's even dive into the whole like WAP thing. Like, to me, within dating, and I don't know if it's just I don't know how it's on the female side at all, but I feel like PJ that a lot of people that I try to date, they want to mimic the VH1, like, you know, hip hop type of life.
Mm-hmm. But they're not living it themselves. You bull for the public. You faking and shaking on these social media pages, but when your
real life ain't close to it.
Real life not even close to it. But again, that comes to, where are you meeting these young ladies? You know, sometimes you have to check yourself, because if you looking for wholesome, why are you gonna go in an unwholesome place to find one?
Yeah, I don't go to Church of Chicken and order hamburger because they don't have them.
They don't have them. So you got to figure that out. If you keep meeting the same kind of chick, where are you meeting her at? And if that's not the chick you want, why are you there looking for her?
And I that's something that a lot of people say, was that maybe you should lower your standards or change your standards.
No. That's not lowering your standards. That's understanding your environment. We never told anybody to lower your standards. Understand your standards, and that will help you in your search and evaluation of candidates. So, I'm not lowering my standards. I wouldn't tell you to lower your standards. I tell you to evaluate what's a priority to you, because everything can't be a priority. You have to make a list. Something has to be first, something has to be second, something has to be third. And then you've got to evaluate that.
Right. And
then when you're looking at your own list, man, I know I want her to cook and clean, but do I want her doing it every day? Or, you know, is 3 days out of the week, you know, going to be sufficient and make me happy? That's not lowering your standards. That's understanding your priorities and setting it at a realistic state in your life to where you may have opportunity to give somebody grace and mercy. Because other than that, you're going to be annoyed a lot.
Right. Okay, let me play devil's advocate then. And so,
okay,
which I often do a lot.
No worries.
But so I'm not going to lower my standards. Again, I should just give up because I did my self-evaluation. I don't think anything is wrong with me. And I think I have to lower my standards, but, you know, or I'm actually understanding my standards, but I'm still not finding anything. Like, I should just give up.
Well, to God be the glory for that, because I don't believe we're meant to be on this earth alone. That just means you need to buckle down and go into another location. If you go to one restaurant and they say, hey, we're out of chicken, you know, we'll have some more tomorrow, but you hungry, then you say, okay, you get in your car, you drive to the next location. And if they don't have it, then you drive to the next location.
I don't think you ever give up on love.
Never.
Or looking for somebody to share your life with.
Companionship.
Companionship. You should never do that. You should take it how it comes. You know, you should give everybody a fair opportunity that you're interested in, and if they don't measure up, you know, and you know, just like you can use. I mean, guys do this. Women, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna give y'all a tip.
You know, it was a tip, baby.
Yeah, like if I'm into a woman, right, and we've been dating for a while, and I'm just using this as an example, and just say we were in a serious relationship, and just say she worked nights and I work days, and I say, hey, you know, my car broke down. Can you come, you know, give me a lift to drop me off of work? And I know it's kind of inconveniencing her, but I would like to see, guys want to see would you inconvenience yourself for them. You know what I mean? That lets me know if she would do that for me to get me to work and lose some sleep, just to, you know, that lets me know that she's into me. That lets me, it's just a little test that guys do and women do too. We all do it. You know what I mean? So if I was, and then she do that, she gonna win. And she say, I ain't gonna be able to do it. I gotta get some sleep. But then turn around and say, hey, can you take me here? Or can we do this? Or can I borrow some money or whatever? And it's like, okay, but you don't mind spending my money, but you don't want me to help me and take me to the place to go get the money. Right. See, that's the kind of stuff we looking at. But it ain't about the sex. It ain't about all the other stuff. It's about what you gonna, will you take care of me if I have a need? So not that I need you to take care of me, but if I have a need, will you be there for me? Right. And that's what men are looking for. And that's the real thing. At our age, we looking for that. We're not looking for no WAP. Everybody got a WAP. Like we just said earlier. The WAP
and
ain't
I
nothing.
agree with it all.
You know, so we looking for the care and the respect. Number one thing men want from women is respect and care. You got those two things, man, you gonna always have a man. Your man ain't going no damn where. You show him respect, even when he out of line, and you go along with him. You get him in the, you don't disrespect him in front of his friends or whoever. You say, hey man, you was out of line, but y'all behind closed doors when you give him the business. You know what I mean? Men just we want respect. We kings, you know, be head. You know what I'm saying? And you treat us in that fashion, in a loving way, in a caring way, you'll always be with a man. Not to say that a man's supposed to run over you. I'm not saying that. He ain't never supposed to run over you. He's supposed to protect you and love you. That's what he's supposed to do. So you get in his ass, you need to get in his ass, and he can accept that, and you do it in a respectful manner. And after you get in his ass, give him some ass.
I am.
You asked for it, Calvin.
No, hey, no, you're being straight up. I like it. No, but you're fine, and I like that. You know, you're being honest, because I think with kind of like our show, we try to have these uncomfortable conversations, and I think that, I mean, I want to talk about two things with y'all, and then like I'll let y'all go. But one thing I want to talk about is that the uncomfortability that y'all love to talk about. I mean, you said that a lot of relationships are scared to have these uncomfortable conversations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like a threesome. Would you consider a threesome? Would you even consider bringing it up to your woman or your wife? You know what? Some guys can't bring it up because they ain't got the balls to, or they scared what their wife gonna think or what she gonna say. See, that's an uncomfortable conversation, right? We will all agree. But can you do that? Most people can't do that. Most relationships can't even bring that type of topic up in their conversation, because they're gonna think, oh, you've been thinking about doing this? Oh, you want somebody else? I mean, just can you have that real conversation just for conversation's sake?
Or not even go sexual. You know,
I went sexual because I know it's extreme and it's taboo. So that's why.
But it's becoming more common. That particular subject alone just brings an extra person, and it's becoming very common now. But there's still, it's it's not the norm, or it's not as visibly the norm. It's always been happening.
Right. I agree. I agree with that too. But some people get offended when you say something like that. Are you thinking about doing that?
They can be offended. You're not responsible for them being offended.
All right.
But that's not the outlook though, because you still have to live in that environment. You still have to live in that space.
I understand that.
And even going away from the sexual aspect, even being able to talk to their partner about things,
about finances,
money. The different money spending habits or saving habits, and those conversations are uncomfortable because a lot of men think of themselves as, I'm supposed to be the provider. But if all of a sudden in your relationship to where you used to be the head of money in the household, and now COVID has happened, and now maybe your job furloughed you. So now your partner is now all of a sudden the new breadwinner in the house. The emotions that come with that, not want to talk about it because you don't want to look like the lesser person in the house. You're having feelings about that, but you don't want to bring that up to her because you don't want her to feel like she's got power over you. Those type of things. We try to encourage people to still have those conversations, even so far as, when you were younger, you was a dime piece. He was a dime piece. You were a dime piece. Well, now that you're both older and kids are into play, now her body ain't really where it was. And you ain't really comfortable with that. You're not as attracted to her as you once used to be, having those conversations in households. And when they don't have those conversations, that wedge begins to go more and more and more and more.
Wow.
I understand that. And the kind of strange part of it all is I'm the youngest of 6 girls. My mom's been married and divorced like 2 times.
That's all right.
But I couldn't remember the last one. But yeah. But she's always tried for him, but she has 6 daughters. Well, 1 stepdaughter that just never went away. But
right.
So I've seen my oldest sister is 13 years older than me. So
Wow.
I've grown up seeing all the different stories that a woman can go through, just thankfully avoiding the worst one, which is losing someone. But all of them I've seen. So I've picked up different things over the course of my life. I'm about to be 30. So it's strange, but I guess it helped me back. It's a blessing and a curse at the same time, because I cannot allow myself to dive headfirst into things, but it opens me very easily to having uncomfortable conversations, because I don't like wasting my time. I don't like wasting mine or yours. And if I can see it, I avoid it. People are like, oh, you should give him a chance. I'm just because he likes me, I don't owe him a chance. I was like, there's something in him I don't like. If I like it, I'll go for it. But he's a good man. He is. He's just not. He doesn't seem like it's gonna be mine. I was like, he's not mine.
Good for you.
I love travel. I love to cook. I like to spend time together. And I'm like, he likes to be out, and I can be out, but he likes to be in the club. I don't like the club. So I know that's going to be an issue. He's going to be, well, what if he invites you with him? I don't want to go. And I want to go somewhere he wants to be, but I don't want to go to the club. I'm stubborn on things like that. Like, it smells. I don't want to be there. It's loud. Let me stay home in my blanket with my coffee. And I've had people who were okay with that, and we made it work that way. But, finances, sexualities, all this stuff, none of that has ever been
an issue.
The issue for me. A lot of it has always been compromise for me. And that's a strange thing to argue about, where, I even with what PJ was saying, I agree. If the two of you are having an argument, don't do it in front of people. He's saying, well, don't kind of bark back in front of people. Right. And I get what he's saying with it, but at the same time, I'm a bit of I'm like, if you can speak to me in front of your people the way you want to, you just gonna have to deal with me saying it back, because you could have waited till we got home too. That's why Christina by herself a lot of the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Like, how is that working for you? I mean, if you want a different situation, you may have to start looking at things differently. And like hearing you talk, you've evaluated so much about yourself. But some things you need to evaluate. Do I need to continue to embrace this for the goal of compatibility that I want?
Because compatibility ain't
Well,
perfect.
that would be, I would understand that a little more if I felt like it was, I'm sorry, if I felt like it was holding me back in a way. It doesn't. It's because I've had successful relationships that ended for whatever reasons they did. And I was like, okay, so I don't have a problem with me. I know there's people out there who don't have a problem with me. I'm just very aware of the ways I am. And some of it definitely has changed over years, you know.
Okay.
You know, I've become a little softer around the
Okay.
edges. Like Calvin's met me. Calvin knows my face
That's
looks a
good.
certain kind of way. He knows my sense of humor. So he can kind of vouch for me a little bit. I'm not as bad.
I
as
know, because I want to run through the
It's a
phone
lot
and give you a
better.
hug. Like, hey,
No.
You guys, hell. Hey, you like my little
I'm
cousin.
good.
You hard
I'm all
on the
good.
boys in the yard. You
I'm
hard on the
good, you
boys
know.
in the yard.
man, if I go
I'm
somewhere,
not.
Chris, we go somewhere together. You my security all day long, baby.
You know what? I'm
Hey,
good
I
at
don't
it.
think that would have
I'm
worked.
good at it.
Chris, I don't think that line would have worked on your ass. You gonna be with
You
me
know
tonight.
what?
She like, nah,
You
you
know
ain't gonna be with nobody tonight.
You know what? The fun. I know it sounds that way, but I would have entertained it. I would have entertained it because it would have made me laugh. But at the same time, I'd have been like, if you don't move your goofy, no. But at the same time, I see.
But you know what though?
But at the same
think,
time, I would have loved it.
I don't know you.
I
I
would
just
have
met
loved
you,
it.
but I think you underneath all that, you all softy. At some
I
point,
am.
somewhere.
I am. 100% I am.
And let's actually transition to that word soft, because I hate that word. Like most people hate the word moist. I hate the word soft. Because
I'm
when
that
you
person.
said moist,
I hate that
felt
word.
a little something there.
yeah,
I hate that word.
y'all's mind. Hey, see, that's what's wrong with people right now. Y'all's minds are in the gutter. Cardi B has y'all thinking
Hey,
all
you have
nasty.
seen our show. Don't play.
Like, see, y'all's mind. Cardi B has y'all's mind. But no, I'm talking about the word soft. I meant emotionally. Sorry, let me be more specific. Because like I told y'all on the phone, like, you know, and even on our past podcasts, like they said that, well, you're a nice guy and everything, and we respect you, but you're just a little too soft for us. And I'm like, what, you want me to beat you inside your head? Like, what do you mean? Like, I'm too soft. And I get that with every person I try to date, is that you're just too soft. And I'm not, because I mean, like, Christina, you see me in person. You don't want me to rage out and get aggressive, because that's gonna be bad for everybody. And PJ already said it. He don't want me to smother him. So I mean, like, why do me being why do you want me to be hard? Like, I don't understand it.
But again, it's what you are familiar with, the way you grew up. Those are the women that kind of catch your eye. And, you know, those women are a little bit more harder. They expect something different because of the environment in which they were raised in. But as you've grown, you have evolved that thought process. So in your thought process, you want that ludicrous. You want that lady in the street and the freak in the bed situation. But the places that you're going and finding these young ladies, it's happening in a different order. They're more hard exterior in public. So they're looking for that hard exterior guy most of the time. You want a lady that walks around with her title of suburban queen, but got a little Shaquita that she can pull out if necessary, should the food be cold when the waiter bring it. But she can flip that switch on, off and on. And that just takes investigation. And again, choosing a different environment to look for your queen versus the places that you've been already.
I got an old saying, and just one thing about it, it's about raising kids and everything. You can always start hard and get soft, right? Just like Chris is saying, she hard, but she said over the years she toned it down, right? So that goes with life. You think about it. That goes with almost everything. But you can't start soft and get hard. But you can start hard and get soft. You can't even have sex with a soft thing. Oh, there we go.
I was waiting on it. I was waiting on
Really?
it. I had so many jokes in my head.
You cannot enter a woman with a soft penis. But if it's hard, you sure can. But you can always start hard and then end up soft.
Right.
But you can't never start soft and get hard. So when you raise your kids, you can't let a kid get 16 all of a sudden you want to whoop their ass. It don't work like that. You got to start whooping that ass early. You start off hard, and then as they get older, and they know where you coming from, then you raise up off of, you start toning it down. Because you're not already established the foundation is what we're saying.
Right. And that comes from, like we're saying, Calvin, that initial understanding and that initial evaluation. Like Chris is saying, I don't like to waste a lot of time. Yeah. And then getting to know people is not really a waste of time. You need to fertilize that thing before anything can start growing. So as you are talking to these women and you're hearing them and you're hearing their language and what they're talking about, and yeah, the outside may be what it is, but you only have sex a part of your relationship. The rest of that relationship is what you're doing together, what you don't do together, how you living, how you growing together. Because every day you're going to grow. Now, whether you're growing together or growing apart is the decision on the two people that are involved in it. Gonna have to do more investigation ahead of time.
Wow.
So don't start soft, start hard on them then. They say you soft, give them their hardness.
Well, I'm definitely not going to be.
You didn't say what I thought you was going to say.
Y'all thought, see? I thought I was going to. What? What, Lord? Give them their hardness.
See.
Let them have it, man.
And like I said,
have you noticed in your dating life? I've noticed over my career. From the 8th grade on up. When I was hard on the chick, didn't call them back, got a phone number, waited about a week before I called, they loved me. The ones I got the number, called immediately, they didn't want nothing to do with me.
I can't believe nobody wanted nothing to do with you.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's almost like pushing. Hey, when you don't care, when you act like you don't care, they cuffing you more. It's the opposite.
Okay, let me say this.
That's true.
Let me say it better, Calvin. Because I'm shaking my head over here. Y'all can't see it.
That's true, though.
But I'm staring at him and I'm shaking my head. What he means is sometimes you guys, being younger, you need to have these people who are interested in you earn some of the behavior that you want to give them. You know? Because you should be able to love, honor, and respect and cherish and do for the person that you select, that you choose. But sometimes you have to do in that investigation process and that evaluation process earlier on, let me see what you reciprocate to see if you are worthy of the gift of myself that I have to give to you.
Yeah, let me see if you're going to ask me out for a date this weekend.
You know?
Let me see if you're going to pay this weekend, even though I can pay every time. Let me see if you're just going to look out for me, you know?
You know, is she gonna come up with something for you guys to do, or do you have to come up with it
all the time? You gotta watch all that stuff. That matters.
And then communicate. I mean, if you're really looking for someone to be with and this person is falling short, there are no mind readers. And nothing bugs me so much as how I hear a lot of young people and our age people who say, oh, well, he should know or she should know. Well, the only thing he should know and she should know is something you have taught them, which means you have told them specifically what you like, what you don't like, as you are going through this relationship and evaluation process. You cannot expect anyone to read your mind.
Wow, that's pretty heavy.
Hold on. Wait a minute. It was something from your last show, Calvin, when you were talking about the young lady who, you know, y'all were friends and, you know, y'all thought about taking it there. Oh, no, come on. We're going to talk about it today.
Talk about it, Calvin.
Okay.
Okay, so she was your friend. You know, y'all were friends. You worked together or whatnot. She came over, you know, then she decided to leave. Then she called back and was like, well, I really wanted to stay. You know, well, maybe we should just be friends. At that point.
But see, she wanted you to come on to her strong and she was going to break you out. But you chose not to.
But again, but that goes to my point about mind readers. And I'm not putting it off on you because you shouldn't have had to have read her mind. If she wanted to stay at this point, she was supposed to be, it was her responsibility at that point to say, I'm really feeling your vibe. You know, I would like to stay. See, that was on her. That wasn't on you.
Okay.
But she
figure that out.
She passive aggressive.
But that's that passive aggressive behavior. So when she left and then called back, what she's trying to do is transfer the responsibility to say, oh, you didn't catch my hint. No, boo-boo, you didn't speak your truth. Because when she was in her house, she had every opportunity to speak her truth that she wanted to stay and be with you. But because she didn't, she was in her own feelings, caused her own drama. And that's why she called back.
Keep this as a friendship now.
Right, because you should have caught the hint. And that is, you should have just said, okay, chicka, okay. Friend zone it is. Because she's not going to be the type of woman that you need in your life, because can you live your life every day trying to figure out what she may be thinking so you don't upset her?
Because
she's not going to talk.
Guess what? You weren't even dating the chick.
Exactly.
Just think you was in a relationship with her and she get in her feelings. She got in her feelings and y'all weren't even a couple. Just think if y'all become a couple and see how she act. Look at that behavior right there.
She leave for work every day. She call you back. Oh, you didn't kiss me before you left. Oh,
damn.
You were supposed to, why you ain't bought me flowers? You know, it's been 2 days and you ain't bought me flowers. You know I like flowers. What?
You ready to be, see, that's the problem. You ready to be served, but you're not willing to serve. See, that's the problem. People are ready to be served, but not willing to serve. You don't want that. It need to go both ways.
Reciprocation is huge.
If I kiss you today, before I got up, after I get up in the morning, hell, I might not do it the next day. I had something on my mind or something, who knows? Kiss me. You know, kiss me. It's your turn. Not say we taking turns, but you can kiss me too. You know? But when everything one-sided, that's not the relationship you want.
No,
you're doing most of the cooking. You're doing most of the cleaning. You're doing most of the chivalry. You're doing most of the good morning, boo. How you doing this morning? You sending the texts. You sending the fly. You ain't getting nothing in return but some sex. Man, that ain't nothing.
Wow.
That WAP ain't nothing. I keep trying to tell them. The older, as a man get older, a young guy, when I was young, 21 years old, I said, man, I'm finna get on all these women. Woo, woo, woo. Dude said, I like to see you in about 20, 25 years, young blood. You won't be saying that. If I saw that dude today, I'd tell him he was right.
And like I said, I think we're very fortunate to have y'all on the show because, I mean, like I said, I mean, some of us run the same marathon right now, and just to see y'all have a leg up on us, you know, I thank y'all for giving us this advice, because, like I said, I'm like Christina. I got older people and I got sisters, and I see what they went through, and that kind of shields me from a lot of stuff. But just to have it, like, just to have a stamp on it right now, that makes me feel better. So I definitely want to thank y'all so much for actually coming on the show today. And
anytime.
And I love it. Unlike Christina, I'm going to give y'all an invitation to come back on the show anytime. Because, I mean, y'all giving what?
Okay. So I'll wait.
I felt that bus hump. I felt that bus over your back, Christina. I felt it.
But no, I think we definitely would like to have y'all back on the show. I mean, just because, I mean, I think I have so many more questions that I can even just ask y'all. But I love the fact that you all are together, you know, after all these years. I mean, y'all kind of give me hope that you know, that it's not too late. Love is never too late.
Never.
And
never, ever.
Just to see y'all together, hear y'all's story in the beginning, and see what y'all go through. I really encourage y'all to go watch their show series, UnDivorceable. But before y'all go, you just let us know how people can find you on Facebook, Twitter, and things like that.
Okay, you can find us on, like you said, on YouTube. We are UnDivorceable. That's UN, the word divorce, and ABLE, all one word. People always forget the E for some reason. I don't know. But on YouTube, UnDivorceable, please subscribe because that helps our channel grow. And on Facebook, you can find us at UnDivorceable, the number 4 and the letter U, as well as on Instagram and Twitter under the same UnDivorceable, the number 4 and the letter U.
All right. Well, there you have it. All right. So let's hear it once again for Kitty and PJ. Thank y'all once again.
Yay. Thank y'all. It was a pleasure. Call us anytime. We may have been new family, but now we're family forever.
Yes, ma'am. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you guys.
Here at Straight Up, we know that all lives matter, but historical events have shown that there is an inverse power dynamic between the races in our country. To highlight this, we present our Black Lives Matter merchandise. Because let's be real, some of you don't seem to understand that this isn't the organization, but a message. That message: end inequality towards minorities in America. And just in case that's too complicated for you in English, we have the phrase translated into 10 different languages. Visit Straight8showpodcast.com for this and all our other merch. That's STR8 showpodcast.com. Shirts as low as $19.99.
Wow, that was a this has been an interesting episode, Christina. I don't it's been one for the books, but I definitely want to thank PJ and Kitty for coming on our show today, giving us a lot of advice and just to hear their love story. What do you think?
I loved it. I enjoyed talking to them a lot. It was kind of like talking to family for a while. You know, it's just good conversation, good people. I enjoyed them. I hope you invite them back at some point. Hopefully they can come back around.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to invite them. And they kind of, you always you do these shows and you don't know what to expect. But I mean, talking to them, it does feel like family. And, they're in my hometown right now. So, I mean, I can go out and see them. So I definitely want to take them up on their offer and go to dinner with them. But I think one of the things that I learned this episode was, it's okay to be yourself. And it's okay to find somebody who's compatible with you. I think that's one of the key words was the compatibility. Find somebody to find you who is compatible with, but don't stay in situations. Don't have like forced situations.
Don't force it.
Yeah,
you have to work for your relationships, but you don't have to work so hard from the jump. Like it should have some good easy moments that make you decide this is worth working for,
right.
It shouldn't be from the jump difficult.
And I know I have a fast-paced mind. Trust me. I mean, I think I'm dateable. I'm a big guy, but I mean, yeah. I mean, you think I'm not? You think I'm not dateable? You think I'm not dateable? I mean,
no.
That goes me asking you on a date.
Oh, I would never give you a date at this point. You don't want to invite me to your show all the time.
But I mean, I think I'm dateable. I think that but I mean, I don't want to think that I'm not dateable. I mean, because me,
you're a good dude, Calvin.
Yeah, thank you. You're a good girl, Christina. And hey, I think PJ and Kitty gave us some hope that it doesn't matter what age you are. I mean, love is out there, and I like Kitty. I do believe that you shouldn't be alone. There is somebody out there compatible with you. Like I said, you just have to just look in front of you and not have your shield up so much. And I know I have my shield up on a lot of things. But I mean, if you're listening, hey, don't give up. I'm not gonna give up. If it comes, it comes. I'm not gonna force anything. I know that. Listen to PJ. I want to keep using my corny pickup lines because they work. Because PJ is out there. He's not being corny, but hey, he's bold and he's fight or flight, and he definitely is taking advantage of his flight right now because he is happily with Kitty. So I mean, don't give up, y'all. I mean, love is out there, and not their family. We mentioned their family, and we want you to be part of our family, and we want you to join our conversation. Until then, make sure you go visit our website at www.straightupshowpodcast.com. That's www.straightupshowpodcast.com. There you can go join our Patreon to help support our show. You can listen to previous podcast episodes. You can even get our merchandise. We have some merchandise out, some fresh new stuff. It's winter, so get your stuff out. Christina likes the leggings, but she said that they cost too much. But women, we have clothes for you too. So if you like our show, you want to support our show, make sure you go to our website. But until then, there's only one rule to our show is you gotta be Really, Christina?
I'm never gonna let you win. I'm never gonna let you win.
All right, guys, you got to be straight up. She's not going to say it, but until then, make sure you join us next time. All right. We love you all.
Break open the bottle with my man. Got no plans. Finish this weekend with my best friend. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Why can't we turn up on Sunday? It's still LA. We got all day. Gotta greet this new weekend the right way. Had a party with my boo. Had a party today, just us two. Tell me a story before you and me. I'll fix you another drink. I feel it's about to get deep. Halfway through the bottle with my man. Got no plans. Finish this weekend with my best friend. It's Sunday. It's Sunday. Why can't we turn up on Sunday? It's still LA. We got all day. Gotta greet this new weekend the right way. Had a party with my boo. Had a party today, just us two.